Bhagavaram Samma Sambuddho Swagato Yena Bhagavata Dhammo Supatipanno Yasa Bhagavato Sawaka Sangho Dhammayang Bhagavantam Sandhamang Sasangan Ime Sakari Yadavaham Arupite Abhipujayama Sadhuna Bhante Bhagava Sunjira Bharini Bhutopi Pajima Janatano Bhamanasa Ime Sakare Dugata Panaka Prabhute Patikanatu Amma Gandhi Karatan Etaya Sukaya Aram Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddham Bhagavantam Abhivadi Swakato Bhagavata Namo Dhamman Namasami Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Sanghan Namami Dayam Buddhasa Bhagavato Bhagavatanama Karangaro Mase Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. So, very good, very nice to see everyone again. So please now, everyone compose yourselves, sit up nicely, and prepare to remain sitting absolutely still for the next 55 minutes or so. Good posture, body and mind alert. And you close your eyes. And as you do so, you leave behind all that you've been doing, put it all down. Past is past. Future still to be. Try now to keep your attention here and now. And we'll commence as usual by bringing to mind the Buddha, remembering our great teacher and inspiration, and especially recollecting his perfect mind. His was a mind that was absolutely clear of any kind of corruption or defilement, and not only that, but far distant, far away from anything of that kind. He was truly a quite wonderful and remarkable being, perfect in knowledge and conduct, and with a mind of infinite compassion. Now, when you recollect the Buddha, when you think of him, or your eye falls on a Buddha Rupa, be inspired to care for your mind too, and do your best, your very best, to cleanse your mind of all greed, hatred, and delusion, and free yourselves utterly of all suffering. And recognize that to do this for yourself is to do yourself a great service, a great kindness. And remind yourselves then to approach this journey, this quest, with a mind of loving kindness. Do your best to be kind to yourself and to care for yourself. But do appreciate your good qualities, the good things that you do. Rejoice in those merits and do them again and again. And at the same time, be accepting of things as they are for now. And likewise, be kind and caring of others. Appreciate their good qualities and accept them too. Now we have to spend a moment or two reminding ourselves of the nature of our human condition. This life that we're living is a changing and evolving experience. And as it does that, and time passes, we grow older. And there's no stopping this. We just get older. And at any time, something can go wrong within this body that we have. We can catch something, meet with an accident. It's a very precarious existence. And of course, whatever we do, we will die. And so will everyone around you. Your loved ones, the ones you don't like, don't get on with, everyone. Aging, sickness, and death. That's the human condition. Pay attention to it. Face it and learn from it. And let it cause you to be just a little bit more concerned to develop your mind and understanding. So, now gather and concentrate your mind. Just bring it together and focus it first on your body, your physical presence. And be aware of the solid nature of your body, as well as the shape that it makes. And its stillness. But then notice that all the while you are breathing. Now become aware of how you perceive the breath, how you know it, by what sensation, feeling. Fix your mind now just on that place where the breath is clear to you. And try to keep your attention there so that you're simply aware of each in-breath and each out-breath. Mindful and aware of breathing in and breathing out. No need to be over-concerned if your mind wanders. But do something about it when you notice it. Don't just let your mind ramble. But when you're aware that you've forgotten the breath and are thinking or feeling something or even listening, then attend to whatever it is as soon as you notice. Pay attention. Look at it. Let it go. And find the breath again and again. Try to keep your mind on the breath. Breath after breath after breath. Do your best to stay with the breath. And use any interruptions by simply observing them. So please stay sitting perfectly just as you are, quite still, quite concentrated, silent. And while I'm talking, all you have to do or need to do is to concentrate on listening to what I have to say. Just listen. Don't worry about remembering it. And don't get lost in any criticisms that you might have of what you hear. Just listen. And afterwards you can discard it or make use of it or whatever. The important thing is to be here now and to listen. So, this time last week, I spoke again about the 5 questions that I suggest that you might ask of yourself when you begin your sitting. They help to remind you about what you're doing. And the last one is to ask yourself why you're doing this. What is the purpose? What is the super objective? And the answer to that, of course, is that the purpose, ultimately, the purpose is to cleanse your mind of all greed, hatred, and delusion, to really understand the Four Noble Truths, and to realize Nibbana. And I think it's important to remember that what we're doing, this practice, has a purpose. And it is as important and special a purpose as that. I think it's important to remember it and to reflect on it from time to time, because nowadays there are various forms of meditation being offered, and for a variety of reasons. And of course, it's true that some of the Buddhist techniques are very helpful when dealing with or trying to deal with things like depression and anger and not feeling so very happy with yourself, low self-esteem, and all that. And of course, there's no reason why you shouldn't make use of these various techniques to deal with these problems. As the Buddha taught, dukkha comes in various kinds. So we have the ordinary, everyday suffering of, ups and downs and aches and pains and the sort of thing we're all pretty much used to and don't most of the time worry ourselves too much about. Occasionally they catch up on us, but we're used to them. And there's the suffering, of course, to do with change. I know sometimes we welcome a change, but we want it to be how we want it. We don't really like the change which is beyond our control. The change that is going on and on all the time. The change which makes us older and causes us sometimes to be without the things and the people that we value and love. So there are these ordinary, everyday things to deal with. And of course, the Buddha acknowledged this and was keen to be helpful and would say sometimes of his advice that even if you reject the idea of another life, of a future that goes on far into the distance, what you're doing, what he's taught you, will make things better for now in this life, will help you to be happier and more at ease. But what this practice also does for us is it gives us purpose, a very profound and important purpose. Really and truly, there is no purpose to life. It happens as a result of various causes. It's a consequence. We're born as a result of various things happening. We're born because of our desire to be. That drives us forward all the time. And it causes us to suffer. And when we realize that life will just go on, and eventually we will die, and whatever we might have achieved in life will be no longer of any consequence, we realize that ordinarily life is just a series of outcomes. There is no purpose. But we give it a purpose. It's important to us that we do have a purpose. Although very often the purpose is to acquire things, to just follow our greed and our aversion, our dislike, and so forth. And all the while we do that, of course, we just dig ourselves in deeper and we suffer more. But when we give ourselves a purpose to deal with our state of mind, to deal with the greed and the aversion and what spoils our minds. That's something else. And it can lead us to a true and secure peace and happiness. Not the happiness of the transitory kind that we, of course, know something about, but a true and secure peace and happiness. And I'm pretty sure we all really want to be happy. And we seek happiness in things which bring only a temporary relief. And all the while, when we do enjoy those forms of happiness, we know that they won't last and that they will, in fact, bring us further unhappiness because we want them again and again. We make attachments to them. And so we practice to change our minds, to change the way that we relate to things, to change our minds in such a way that we understand the nature of things and don't go on making the same old mistakes. And that's the purpose behind our practice, to really understand, the nature of our existence in such a way that we are changed by it. Of course, when we read about what the Buddha taught, we can understand those words. We can understand the word suffering. But we don't really quite get it, not really in the depths of our being. There isn't an intuitive realization, not yet. It's only when that happens that we can really be at peace with things. And for that to happen, we have to keep on trying and practicing to control our minds and to be able to watch our minds, to observe the nature of our experience. Not to convince ourselves of some belief or view or opinion, but to open our minds to seeing things as they are. And that's why we do this. Why we try to discipline our lives, to avoid doing things which are harmful, to create a more mindful approach to things, to quieten our minds so that we can watch and observe our experiences, so that we then eventually can see the nature of things, to really understand that things are impermanent, unsatisfactory, and that none of it we can call our own or to say is me or myself. So that's it. And that's enough from me for tonight. We'll sit for a little while longer, and during these closing moments, please focus your minds on loving kindness. May you and all beings be well and happy. May you and all beings be free from all suffering. May you and all beings realize for yourselves the secure peace of Nibbana. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi Swakato Bhagavanta Dhammo Dhammang Namasami Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Sanghang Namami. So thank you all very much for coming. Very nice to see you all again. I hope you have a good week and we'll meet again soon. Good night.